become a Southern anthem, Lynyrd Skynyrd's classic, Sweet Home Alabama. It reached number 8 on the music charts when it first came out back in 1974. 3 years later, tragedy hit Jacksonville's hometown boys.
Some of those hometown boys are still carrying on the band's legacy. Recently, a standing room only crowd rocked to this local favorite when Lynyrd Skynyrd played it live during a concert at St. Augustine Amphitheater. I was there, behind the scenes. That song never fails to stir fans of this Southern rock band that grew to international fame from the local roots at Lee High School going back 51 years. This concert, like so many others before it, once seemed an impossibility because of what happened 40 years ago last week. On October 20th, 1977, Lynyrd Skynyrd's chartered plane crashed in the Mississippi woods while flying from Greenville, South Carolina to Baton Rouge to play a concert at LSU. 6 people died: lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist Steve Gaines, his sister, singer Cassie Gaines, road manager Dean Kilpatrick, and the pilot and co-pilot, who investigators say failed to realize the plane was out of fuel until it was too late. 20 people were badly injured, including the band's other 2 founding members, Alan Collins and Gary Rossington. Drummer Artemis Pyle suffered cracked ribs, but still managed to walk out of the woods to get help. This woman, moving to the music just off stage, is more than a fan. She's Ronnie Van Zant's widow, Judy Van Zant. Before the concert, accompanied by 2 of her grandchildren, she talked with me about her late husband.
You were married to him for 5 years. Tell us what he was really like at home.
Well, at home, he was totally different. I mean, he liked to come off the road just so that he could, you know, chill out a bit. He liked to fish. He liked to hang out. You know, I would cook, and we lived right on Doctor's Inlet, so he would go fishing a lot with Gary, and he was a different person at home than on the road.
Do you think about the crash, or do you only think about the crash when people like me come along and ask you questions about the crash?
I try not to think about the crash, but, you know, there are times when it comes up, you know, and of course with the 40th anniversary, which in my opinion, 40 years is no different than 30 years, you know, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. So, or every day for that matter. But I try not to think about it. You know, it's probably one of the worst days of my life.
And it still is the worst day, isn't it?
Yes.
Like all of us who are grandparents, she is happiest when I change the subject to her grandchildren.
This is Araya. She's 17. This is Coden. He's 11. These are Melody's kids. And then I have another granddaughter who lives in New Orleans. She's 4 years old.
And this is a big night for you, Araya.
Yes, this is my first time ever seeing them live, and I actually just watched Freebird the movie for the first time this week to kind of get a feel of it. This is really an important night for me.
The concert will also be a first for Coden.
I'm just really excited for it and just want to see how good it is.
What Araya did not know when she and I talked is that her uncle Johnny Van Zant had a big surprise for her when the band played their next to last song. That's Araya joining vocalist Dale Krantz Rossington and Carol Chase during Sweet Home Alabama. Could she have some Van Zant talent in her blood?
Has somebody impressed upon you that you're Ronnie Van Zant's granddaughter? Do people impress that on you? Does anybody even talk with you about that?
People don't really know about it unless I bring it up or unless they know who my mom is, but...
Uncle Johnny also had a surprise for Coden. Together, they carried the American flag for all the crowd to see. After 90 solid minutes of music, the show closed with the most crowd-pleasing song of them all. When I talked with the only surviving member of the band who's still in the band, guitarist Gary Rossington, before the show, he told me he knows how important Freebird is to the fans and to the band.
Every night we play Freebird, it's like brand new because The people give you such energy. People have come up and said, we played that at my brother's funeral, or Freebird was at my wedding. The music is what keeps it going and keeps me going, and the reason I'm here is the music. If that died, that never died, you know.
To clear up any confusion I may have caused, while Gary is the only survivor of the crash who is still in the band, drummer Artemis Pyle and singer Leslie Hawkins also survived, and they're alive and well. Now, Mary, as you know, part of the story is this album, Street Survivors. It was released just 3 days before the crash, and within a matter of days, 10 days of being in record stores, it went gold and later was double platinum.
Wow. And, you know, I remember after the crash that there were some objections to this specific cover because of the flames there behind the band, right?
Particularly behind Steve Gaines. And yes, out of respect for those who died, MCA withdrew this original cover and replaced it with this similar picture of the band in front of a simple black background.
Tom, this was the late 1970s. I don't recall many local TV stations sending reporters out to cover such, you know, tragedies or any story really out of town, right?
We didn't go much farther than Tallahassee. It was pretty uncommon for local reporters to go very far from home. I've been asked again and again how it was that we went to the scene of the crash, the woods, a swamp really, in Gillsburg, Mississippi, about 600 miles from Jacksonville. The decision to go there was made by our news director at the time, Joe Moreland, who was a Southern man himself and a huge fan of the band. The crash was on a Thursday night. And the next morning, photographer Joe Coppolet and I flew to Baton Rouge. It was the first time any of us in our newsroom had gone out of town with our brand new video cameras, which were replacing film cameras in television back in those days.
A big deal.
Yes, a big deal. The airline would not let Joe hold the camera in his lap, so we had to put it in the overhead bin. And when we got to Baton Rouge, it was broken.
Oh, man.
I'm over it. But engineers at a Baton Rouge TV station fixed it for us, and then the station's pilot flew us in a small plane to Macomb, Mississippi. Then we drove a rented car to Gillsburg. We found the makeshift road that first responders had used to get the victims
Deep in the swamp, right?
out of the swamp, yes. And we walked that road until we reached the wreckage. We were the only ones there. And as I shared with you yesterday, yes, it was a horrible, heartbreaking, unforgettable sight.
How remarkable is it, too, Tom, that the title on the album is Survivors. It includes the word survivors. And even after such a tragedy so long ago, the music of Skynyrd still survives and is thrilling audiences. Generation after generation.
Yes. Young people who weren't even born at the time of this plane crash. One more thing, Mary, I want to thank Judy for the use of all those home videos that you saw of the band in my story today and the one yesterday. They're from Freebird, the movie. And this past weekend, Judy posted a message on Facebook that I want to read to you all. She said, "Well, October 20th, 1977 is a reminder of the worst day of my life. I appreciate that Tom Wills and WJXT4 want to pay tribute to Ronnie, Steve, Cassie, and Dean. It is still a very sad day for the families, friends, and fans of Lynyrd Skynyrd, even 40 years later, but it is wonderful that they are remembered and live on. Maybe," she said, "we could put hate, anger, and disrespect aside for one day."
They are friends. They are friends of ours.
Yes, they are.
Right?
Yes. And tomorrow, her granddaughter, Araya, will join Vic and Nikki live during the 9 o'clock hour of the morning show.
That I did not know. We get to hear her?
Yes. Well, I'm not sure what we're going to have Araya do, but you better tune in tomorrow at 9 and find out. Now, if you go to News4Jax right now, you can find more of my interviews with Judy and Gary. There's also a slideshow of the band from now and then. You can read the NTSB report on the crash, and you can watch the special Lynyrd Skynyrd report that Channel 4 and I put together 40 years ago in 1977. Again, that's on news4jax.com.